Okay, from the factory, this has quite a big lateral wiggle, and that's only going to wear the edges of that. So let's press those two things together. We have to take off this. Okay, I heard it flick off into the distance, and I found it. Thank goodness for that, because that is a really small, really small clip. Okay. So I might use a flat file on here, both faces, and then squeeze those together. Okay, how slyly and how nicely is that running? So the only change, took this out and tightened it up here so that that can't wiggle back and forth like this. Okay, a little bit too slow. I'll fix that. It's amazing how slow it will run, really, considering the wee flywheel. Still got quite a bit of smoke coming out of it. That could just be the oil I've got in the petrol. That's really slow. The difference, just from getting this rocker arm straight in its little mount there. I made a tiny little washer as well. Interesting, and that's why I find this engine so fascinating. Yeah. Okay, I'm sick of the batteries going flat on this engine while I'm trying to fiddle with the tuning. This hit and miss engine is sparking on every rotation, even though it hasn't necessarily got compression or a fuel air mixture. It's only when this exhaust valve is fully up that we're going to get the suction in here to bring in the fuel air mixture. But every time this engine rotates, it's sparking, and because this lasts so long in the hit and miss, you're only going to get a few runs before you've got problems with the battery. My other hit and miss engine, where I've got a switch operated by the rocker so that it doesn't fire every time this rotates, only every time this gets up to the top, that I haven't had to change the batteries on, like, for months. This one, yeah, every couple of runs. So I need to put a device on there, a switch. It's fiddlier than the other one, but the parts I've come up with are these two bits here. I think they're just from Household Electrics. As you can see, I've got a couple of boxes of just sort of brass screws, black screws, a lifetime collection of washers and some laptop screws, and brass scrap over here, and a bit of aluminium. So let's get into it. I need to change these, put them together, and I'll have a mounting here. The mounting goes on top of that engine and will hold one of these switches from inside a CD unit for a computer. That's what I'm going to use. Right, I'll get into it. What you're looking at here is a switch device that only powers the ignition module if the exhaust valve is up in its seat. And for example, only in the hit part of the engine cycle, this saves many revs of sparking when there's nothing to spark. There's no fuel mixture has been dragged in. Now, a normal hit and miss engine from the hit and miss engine days would have this kind of switch so that it's only firing when it needs to. This little switch here came out of a CD drive, and I've resoldered a couple of wires onto it, and as you can see, I've cut down the printed circuit board that was there. The big cuts, I use a snipping tool to get it near the shape, and then I use a file to get it, as you can see, it's adjustable. You can push that thing down and it's got to be adjusted to the point where it doesn't quite go, and then you move it back again, because it's a little bit hard to find out where that switch is on, is firing, is letting your engine fire. So this is going to stop me going through batteries. It's going to stop me getting frustrated that the engine's not properly starting. The batteries last much longer. I squeeze these together, which means that rocker arm isn't flipping around here, and you can see how they've been mounted there. I've just got a piece of brass that fits in here, and it's a press fit with a bit of glue. But as I say, that mounting needs to be flexible enough to rotate this to the desired position. Now that's the second time I've tried to get that kind of switch working. You may have noticed in the last video there's this wooden muffler. It's little more than a hole in a piece of wood. Actually, it was made for something else, for my big hot air engine a year ago. It's got a couple of bits sticking into it. This rubber thing is off a hard drive mount from somebody's computer, and a good thing about that being wood, well, it doesn't need to worry about getting hot, because these engines don't get warm even, and it is soaking up a bit of oil that it's spitting out rather than putting it all over our kitchen table. So I would say this is running very nicely. It could be running slower. Doesn't have to be running this fast, but if I have it running much slower, if I have it running much slower, we're going to end up with the problem that it's not actually sucking fuel through the pipe once the fuel level goes down. To that end, I've moved the tank over, and this is about as short as it could possibly be. You'll have seen in my earlier videos that this is meshing better than it was originally. You've noticed that I've put a little lever on that. Yeah, very, very happy with this. Now, quite a hassle building one of these things. I mean, you can see how simple it is, but when you're thinking it through for yourself and you're using bits of scrap that you already had rather than, you know, a machine shop or whatever. Look, I'm delighted to have got that going. Thanks for watching.